Hey Libra gang, Libra Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. How are you guys doing? We are going to delve into the energies around this situation from the past, okay? We'll try to hit as many Libras as we can. If it's not your story, it's not your story. I'll catch you next time, okay? So with that being said, Libra gang, we're going to look at this. We're going to look at what they were thinking whenever this thing went down. What are they thinking about this now? Might they reach out again? Have they worked on themselves? What's going on with your person overall, and what we may expect going forward, okay? If you want to delve into your situation in more detail, well, guess what? It is super easy to do. I have very, very simple, detailed instructions in every description box of how to book a personal reading. No need to email me for that. That's the only way to find out, is hitting my description box, okay? If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will, okay? And the likes and comments are greatly appreciated. Not only do they touch my heart, but they help me in the YouTube algorithm, okay? So thank you so much for that. With that being said, Libra gang, let's get started on the energies around this situation. What was in your person's thoughts and heart and mind when this whole thing went by the wayside? At the time this was happening, what was in their mind, and how were they feeling about the whole thing? How were they feeling about the whole thing, Libra? Let's see if we can figure this out. Let's see if we can figure this out. Oh, Libra, goodness gracious. Libra, was there a third party? Is that what the deal was? They knew they broke your heart. They knew it. They didn't care. God bless it. This, oh my God, Libra. Okay, we'll talk about it. We're going to talk about it, okay? You know, I think this looked like a real good opportunity up front. And this person came across very dynamic, told you all the right things, very charming, haughty probably, a lot of physical attraction, filled up a room, very dynamic, big flirt, you know, noticed, right? Then you got into this thing a little bit. This person was quite immature, right? Quite immature. And pretty arrogant and pretty egotistical, which, don't mistake arrogance and being egotistical for confidence. That is very different. Arrogance and being egotistical is rooted in huge self-esteem issues, okay? And we've got the Emperor in reverse, and we've got the King of Pentacles in reverse. When someone can't see their own value, they don't see yours either, okay? And that's what this is really, that's what was really going on energetically, okay? But in their mind, they lost interest, point blank period, with the Knight of Wands in reverse. And a third party for many of you is what happened. Either they cheated or they bailed and went from you to them without taking a break. And so, of course, they buried any issues or, you know, things that would have made them behave this way in the first place with this Knight of Wands in reverse. And, of course, they acted distant. May have even ghosted you. You know, I got words for this, and I can't use them on YouTube. But anyway, okay. People like this are actually very broken. I mean, it is hard to have sympathy when people treat people like this. But on the other hand, if you can look past it and see the big picture and know that these people are coming into this thing broken to begin with, and probably not having healed from something in their own past, okay, or freshly let it go. They knew you were busted up, okay, with this Nine of Swords here. Okay, they knew they abandoned you, basically. Okay, but they just kind of lost the will. They released it, you know, Four of Pentacles in reverse, Ten of Swords in reverse, just as quick as they grasp onto it when the Wheel of Fortune was in the upright. The very first card I pulled out was Wheel of Fortune in the upright, and then I had the Emperor reverse, which speaks to all that crappy behavior, and then the Ten of Swords in the reverse and the Four of Pentacles reversed. This one was like that, and I don't think you saw it coming. And then the next thing you know, there's a third party right in front of you. And they haven't worked through their issues. They haven't healed a darn thing with the Six of Swords here. At least they hadn't then. They refused to work on themselves. They don't think they had a problem. Egotistical, right? And the fact of the matter is that their subconscious beliefs are quite opposite of that. But by definition, you're unaware of that, okay? And so they are. And that's why they come across as arrogant, egotistical, you know, thinking they're all that in a bag of chips. It's really this big mask that they actually need themselves, because they won't deal with the real issues in their own subconscious that they're not aware of, right? So they hide that actually from themselves. They think they're hiding it from everybody else, but in actuality, it's really them that can't face the truth, right? Because it's hard to face the fact that you have a crappy outlook of who you are, okay? And so they hide behind all this thing. And honestly, the reason people bail from one to the other without taking a break, I'm going to tell you exactly what happens here, why they cheat or they bail and go right to somebody else without taking a break and healing, is this. They came to as I said, they came to this dynamic broken to begin with. They wanted you to give them something that no other human can give, and that's to fill up a cup that only they have the capability to fill up. We can only fill up our own cup. That's it. I can't fill yours. You can't fill mine. That's the way the world works, okay? But most people think that they need something outside of themselves to fill them up because of indoctrination and, you know, ways that we've been taught and the whole fairy tale, you know, fantasy crap, you know. And yeah, I'm calling Disney out on that, okay? It is what it is. But there are no happily ever afters unless we make them that, okay? So with that, and you don't need anybody to rescue you either, okay? So with that being said, this person came into the dynamic looking for something that no other human can give, okay? Well, you didn't give it. Well, hello, you couldn't. And so now they're on to something else. That's what happened right here. I'm just going to tell you energetically what happened, okay? Tell you what they thought. They didn't do a lot of thinking, to be honest with you. They're just like, well, you know, this is not working for me, so I'm going to go somewhere else, okay? And they didn't really give it a lot of thought. It was pretty impulsive. Definitely not an intuitive move, because if it would have been intuitive, at a minimum, they would have, you know, if they were going to bail, they would have at least taken a break and fixed themselves. But whoever I'm talking about didn't do that. They either were cheating before they ever left you and had something lined up so that they wouldn't be by themselves, because they can't stand to be alone. Why? Because their self-esteem is in the toilet. Yes, I'm calling it out, Libra. Yeah, this is a classic. You know, I know this story, okay, and I've walked this path, okay, so I'm with you. You're not alone at all. And I know it busted you up. You may still be busted up, and if so, I'm sorry. You can heal. You can. This person can too if they want to. So here's what we're gonna do. Since we've seen such a mess from this person, and you know, your responsibility is to go inside and heal, right? So that you won't reattract the same crap, right? Because this does a number on you too, okay? It really does on your subconscious, if it wasn't already broken beforehand. And quite honestly, it probably was, and I'm not throwing shade, mine was, okay? So, hello. But okay, have they worked on themselves? That's a question I want to ask right now. Have they done any work? Have they taken a break now? Because we know what their thoughts were then and what they did then. What are they doing now? What are they doing now? Staying busy, trying to distract themselves. That's exactly what they're doing. Not seeing some truths with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Missing the most important thing in the whole dynamic. And guess what? Wherever they are, they've pretty much given up either on the situation that they went to or themselves, star reversed. And the Queen of Swords in reverse cut somebody out again, pretty hastily too. And it really overburdened them. And they got busy. Queen of Wands here, they felt like they could distract themselves from the truths. You know, and the need to be busy, and I've got this quote in my 3x5s, the need to be busy all the time is a trauma-based response, and it is an effort to keep from having to face what we would have to face if we just sat still. The person's very overburdened about, and they don't even know why. They're not at peace, and they don't know why with the 10 of Wands here. 6 of Wands in reverse. They really got a hesitancy about them to even face the truth, okay? That's what I got. All right. What are their thoughts about you? Do they have emotion for you? We were going to ask that. Do they have emotion for you? We're gonna look at the future too, but You know, do they have emotion for you right now? What are their thoughts towards you? Do they have emotion? Like they reach out. They feel like you are deceptive or that they are, and they are still. They've released it. Ten of Swords in reverse. You know, you may get a half attempt at some apology here with the Two of Swords in reverse, but you got this Emperor reversed. And, you know, I think many of them are just, right now, a lot of what motivates them is coins, okay? And I get that all day long, but I don't see them moving forward in this thing. Five of Swords in the upright. You know, I think if there's a good chance, if this could go one way or the other, Libra. Either it's going to be combative if they reach out and deceptive, or they'll try to clear the air. And quite honestly, what I get from the two of those cards together is there's going to possibly be an attempt to clear the air and make peace, but it's not sincere with this Five of Swords sitting here looking at me. That too. Emperor in reverse. There's been no maturing. There's been no growth. And they've really just let this thing go. I do not get a darn bit of emotion towards anything but money. Ten of Pentacles in the upright. This person loves the heck out of some money. I'm going to tell you that. For what it's worth, air, Aries, earth, and fire. And we've had every zodiac sign, Libra, you know, so I've been forgetting to tell you those, and my apologies. That I don't get too caught up in the zodiac signs, and really you shouldn't either in my readings. I just don't get that hung up over them. If I do, I'll tell you, okay, that you've got an Aries coming in. That's not what this is about. I don't think that you were dealing with an Aries. It just takes an Emperor in reverse to fully describe the asshat energy that you dealt with, okay? I'm just going to call it like it was, okay? And they are broken. You know, their self-esteem is in the toilet. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going to, it's asshat energy. They're not an asshat. It's hard for me to say, but it is true. Okay, Libra. All right. What's the future between you and this person? What's the future between you and this person? Right now, we know they haven't healed and they don't have any emotion for anything but money. Ooh, what a superficial person. Money's great, you know. Love, the highest frequency is love. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, very out of balance. Eight of Pentacles in reverse, not being worth your time. You got this Emperor reversed for the third time in this reading. A lot of them had some really narcissistic ways, and I hate that word because it is very overused. King of Cups in reverse, emotionally closed off. They're in their own prison. We've talked about that, okay? This person's very broken, emotionally immature and emotionally closed off, okay? And they love themselves, quite honestly, or they think they do. But really, it's not so. I'm getting arrogance from this whole thing. World card, completion, you know. You're kind of encouraged to get busy about the business of healing, finding your own peace, and finding your spiritual muscles that you don't even really know exist. And the Queen of Wands would also tell you this: get busy about your work, find your happiness, and cut that out which does not serve you. That is the meaning of the Queen of Wands. Yes, it is. Two of Swords in reverse, finding your peace, okay? Making your own closure sometimes with that. I had to. I got the opposite, literally. So I wouldn't be surprised, because very much of your story is actually a very similar story to the one that I went through about 4.5 years ago. And if that is your story, sometimes you have to make your own peace and your own closure, okay? I did. But this person is very out of balance, very overly focused on money and or their work with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. Their work is probably, their identity could very well even be in what they do. You know, not who they are, but what they do, right? Big difference, which is really a shell of a person if you think about it. Very broken, okay? Very broken individual. You don't have to be though. You can fix you. You can find the spiritual muscles right here, Libra. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You know, you may be a little kitten, but when you look in the mirror, see that mane. There you go. Just like I tell the Leos, right? Stop setting yourself on fire to keep other people warm. This is one you need to just release. It is so not worth your time. You know, it's their responsibility to fix themselves. You can't fix them, but you can fix you so that going forward, you don't mess with this kind of stuff in the future, okay? All right, so we have air, water, earth. fire, Leo, and Aries once again. So anyway, with that being said, Libra, I hope this has been helpful for you, but I would really, this is probably the toughest of the X readings that I've done, and I hate it. You know, I will tell you this, I was happy the other day to get a good reading for you guys in one of the all signs, and it was, if you will look in the all, and I can't remember, I think it's the one where what's good coming in, and it was a couple days ago. Go to my videos and you will see in the timestamps it said there's a parentheses of something like this one or this, something of that nature, and it's that reading where you got a good reading, and it talked about the fact that you guys have done a lot, are doing a lot of work, and you're on a healing journey, and because of being on that journey to raise your vibration so you don't attract this kind of energy going forward, what you had coming in, and it was very nice. So with that being said, let's, you know, I've got a new deck here, Libra. We're going to pull from this deck. This is, I saw this on Tyler, and I finally found it. I've been looking for the Story and Virtue Romance Oracle deck for a while. But you know what? Time apart from your partner. There you go, from that one we just talked about, right? And so let's see what else we have. Let's see what else we have. Some of you, this may have been religious factors too, okay? And here you go. This is talking about healing, retreat. Okay, it's time to disconnect from the world, you know, romantically at least, and go inside, spend some time in solitude, get comfortable with yourself. People are not going to enjoy being around you until you enjoy being around you, okay? People are not going to see your value until you do. People are not going to love you unless you show them how, okay? Thank you so much, Libra. Sorry if this was your story. You are going to find that you deserve and will attract far better if you will just step into that shadow work journey. See my playlist if you want to know more. Much love, Libra gang.